Yes, people, and welcome back to another episode of the Ghostoul Podcast. This week is a bit special. We have the gentleman that I went on my very first ghost hunt with. Yes, we have the awesome, the amazing Richard Felix.
Yeah.
Whoop whoop.
Whoa, bloody hell. So where was that? Where did you do your ghost walk?
It was at the Golden Fleece in 2008. And yeah, what we did, you did a ghost walk around in the evening around York. Then we went back for dinner, and then we did a ghost hunt upstairs.
Wow! Yeah, those were the days.
Yeah,
crikey! Yeah,
small world.
We did it for years, once a month. And then I don't know something. Well, no, I mean, you say I used to do a Chester ghost walk, Leicester ghost walk, Derby ghost walk, Ashbourne Ghost Walk, Chesterfield Ghost Walk, York Ghost Walk. Come on, guys. It's too much. It's too much. I'm too old.
I can imagine. So how are you, Richard? Are you good? Hope you're well.
Fine. I'm absolutely fine. Yeah. Yeah, I'm looking extremely dark on my screen. Is it my phone or
I think so. You're all good. My end. Right. Yeah, you're really clear.
I need to turn the brightness up somehow, but we'll worry about that another time. No problem. Yeah, I'm absolutely fine.
That's awesome. So, Richard, what got you? We're going straight into this. What got you interested in the paranormal in the first place? What was the spark?
Fear.
Fear.
Yes, fear of ghosts from as a child, a young child, from the age of 4. But nothing happened. Nothing. I didn't see one, hear one, sense one, or anything else. But I was frightened of. I was, for some reason, we all have something. We all have a phobia, don't we?
Yeah.
It might be snakes or open space or whatever. And I got this ridiculous fear of ghosts from the age of about 4. And I mean, the night terrors I used to have as well. There was definitely something not quite right about me. There's no doubt about that. And I used to play with kids that were older than me.
Yeah.
And they used to tell ghost stories to me.
And
they frightened me. Well, terrified, not frightened. And guess what? It's actually still there. I still have problems spending the night alone or going up to prime example. There's a haunted room on the top floor. Of wherever it happens to be, and you've got to go through the hall, up the stairs, along the landing, then up the next flight of stairs, and up into and that to me is almost too much, too far away from any other living people, and there's legend that there's a ghost up there, and to me it's even now on TV programs, very very seldom would I go alone on things like that, but that's not what got me into it.
No,
even though I had this fear of it. I suppose that's something to keep you away from it, really. But it all started when I, as chairman of, God forbid, Derby Tourism, and nobody knows anything about Derby, unfortunately, because we've never told anybody. It's right, honestly. So I started researching, and I opened a heritage centre in an old Tudor grammar school. We've got a ghost in it upstairs. And I thought, well, why don't we do a ghost walk? York do ghost walks. Chester do ghost walks. So I set up a ghost walk in 1993, at the beginning of 93. Did the first one. Thought it was the biggest load of rubbish I've ever done. Because I didn't believe half of what I was telling people. In other words, I'd read about things, I'd had 1 or 2 stories from people, and I thought, no, I can't do this. They enjoyed it, people enjoyed it. I didn't, because I realised that I needed, if I'm going to do this, I need to believe. I'm not saying I need to believe in ghosts, but I need to believe in what I'm talking about as regards the accounts and
Yeah.
stories that we got. So I stopped. I didn't do anything for about eight months, something like that. And I did a phenomenal amount of research and talking to people before I came back with the Derby Ghost Walk, and I've actually had Derby declared the most haunted city in Great Britain, with York and Chester joined second.
Awesome.
Quite something. And so that's how it started. Because basically, even now, it's the same thing. I'm interested in the history that created the ghost.
Yeah.
In other words, the ghost on its own can be. Oh, come on! If you went round the streets of wherever, there's a grey lady in there, there's a pink lady in that one, there's a dark shadowy figure in that one, there's a ghost in that one, someone had a chair thrown at them in that one. You'd be bored off your trolley in 10 minutes.
Yeah.
But if you can put a history behind the haunting, then that becomes very different, because it makes the whole thing more credible and believable.
Oh, yeah.
That's the whole crux of the matter. That's where I come from. That's where I come in all the time. So, although they're coming on a ghost walk, they're actually coming on a ghost history walk.
History walk, yeah.
But if I advertised it as a history walk, they wouldn't be there.
No, they want the ghosts, they want the spookiness.
They want the juicy bits, they want the fascinating, and but the two go together so well. Always have. Yeah. That's the whole idea of it. But now it's progressed to such an extent that I'm now not only dealing with the history of it, but actually trying to create a rational explanation for the whole thing. And the history goes along with that. Because if you find out the history of what happened to that person, you can start to sort of make it A, sound more credible, but B, possibly put a reason as to why that person is still there and hasn't moved on.
Yeah, you can sort of build up the backstory, can't you?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, and that's the whole idea, I think, anyway, of what it's, and it seems to be, people seem to like that very much, because there's more to it. There's more of a tale.
Exactly. No one wants it. Oh, there's a ghost over there. Yeah. What's the ghost? Don't know. Why is it there? Don't know. Yeah, it's like you forget about it quite quick.
Yeah, exactly. Of course you would.
Yeah.
Oh, on to the right. Let's go to this building. Oh, there's a ghost in there as well. Oh, really? Yeah. Whoa. Can we go home now, please?
Exactly.
I think so. That's the thing. So that's how it happened. But the fact that I'm still frightened of ghosts is absolutely ridiculous. But it's true. It's still there. This isn't a what's the word? An advertising type thing. I mean, I really genuinely still have a fear of confronting a ghost. Yeah. Of waking up in the middle of the night to find something stood at the foot of the bed.
That must be horrible.
Yeah, I think that's the thing. And people do. It does happen. Of course.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Come on. I'm sure you've heard loads of accounts of people that the wife or the husband or whoever woke up, saw this figure, so frightened they couldn't even wake their partner up, and bloody hell.
No,
and died under the bedclothes.
Yeah, I never saw a ghost when I was growing up. I never saw my nan at the end of the bed, anything like that. The reason I got into it was all because of the particular TV show that you were on, Most Haunted.
Oh dear, and we've got a lot to answer for, mate.
Yeah, I'd never seen anything before. I never saw anything from America on TV, no. Even though there was shows out there. But Most Haunted really, it captured me, and it made me think, oh my God, like.
Yeah.
There's a ghost there, and they're talking to him, and things are moving, and it's like, wow.
Yeah, that's. I mean, we, because I was in it from series 1 until series 8 when I gave up and resigned. But we set the scene for that single program has created more argument, more debate, more discussion, more research, and more interest than any ghost program ever has, or probably ever will do, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
And we're responsible for a phenomenal amount of interest and now research that's going into it. The number of paranormal investigators now that are out there,
Yeah.
all because of Most Haunted, and all the shows that are on now, they're all copying Most Haunted. To be honest with you.
Yeah. How did you get the gig then? How did you get onto Most Haunted in the first
Right. Well,
place?
I own Derby Jail, the old
Yeah.
county jail in Derby, which
Great location.
quite something
Yeah.
special. Things are going on at the moment there, and they wrote to me, Series One, asking if they could come and do one of their programs for Series One at Derby Jail. So,
Okay.
I mean, I'd never heard of them, any
No.
of them, or the program or anything else. And I said, yeah, obviously, yeah, it's £750 location fee. I always, oh dear, did I tell you I was better?
You lied.
Sorry about it.
Oh dear, Rich. Have a
Yeah,
drink.
right here. Good job, I've got some coffee with me. And basically, they came along, and it was a good show. We had something happen probably for the first time when the cross moved on the bed in the prison cell.
Yes.
And I was obviously on the first one with them, not for long. And that was it. And they went away, thank you very much. And about a month or so later, I got a phone call from the vet. Could Carl come down and see you, please? We've got a proposition for you. So I thought, oh, yeah, that's interesting. So Carl Beatty turned up,
Yeah.
and he said to me, as the owner of the premise and as a witness, because I'd seen a ghost in the building,
Yeah.
we should have given you a 2-minute slot on the show. But he said after 25 minutes, we just did not know where to edit it. Would you like a job? Wow. Bloody hell. And that's it. That's how it happened.
Wow. Just like that.
I was quite happy about that. As you can
Yeah.
imagine. I'd never heard of it. I didn't know who Derek Acora was. I knew who Yvette Fielding was. I got a clue. But that was it. And off we went, basically. But the problem I had at the end, was that, oh dear, it started to degenerate into Scooby-Doo.
Yeah.
And I understand totally why, because it's an entertainment show, and it had to entertain, and it did entertain, but the problem was that to entertain you have to have ghosts all the time,
Yeah.
and that's what I feel was the problem, because I'm sure they realised, it's probably true as well. If there wasn't a ghost every 5 minutes, people would switch off.
Yeah. Yeah. There was obviously, like you say, if you've got a show that's boring, there's nothing happening, people are just going to turn off. So
Yeah.
you have to make sure your job, it is your job. You need to keep your job, keep it going.
You've got it.
And
that's and I understand that.
yeah.
But the only thing I don't understand is that a lot of the time they still tried to make out as if it was real.
Mm.
Some of it was. There's no doubt about that. There are lots of things that happened that went on. I can't explain even now.
So what was a typical night of filming? What did that look like on filming an episode?
Yeah, you'd start at sort of 9 o'clock in the morning,
Right.
sort of thing.
Yeah.
And obviously rehearsals, prepping, getting stuff ready, sorting stuff out. Then nothing really then would happen. There was a lot of behind the scenes stuff, which obviously I wouldn't have been involved in because I was sort of front of the camera, not behind the camera.
Yeah.
And so lots of that went on that I didn't know what was going on. So there'd be quite a lot of sitting around, watching paint dry, waiting sort of thing. and then it would all start. And then we'd go for lunch, and then whatever we came back. And then it would be a case of when Derek turned up about 5ish, I think. Things would then start to happen, and there'd be a bit more discussion and debate and various things going on, and we'd then start with whatever. And I mean, to a certain extent, it was scripted.
Yeah.
And so it would have been a case of, right, well, you're going there, you're going there, you're going to do this, you're going there, and away we'd go. And I think my biggest criticism of the whole thing was, right, okay, let's be, I did say to you, no holds barred. No, you're not even asking me at the moment. But number one, apart from me, Kieran, Derek, Steve Parsons, who was on for a bit, great guy. We were the only ones that knew anything about ghosts.
Okay.
Because all the others, lovely as they were, well, cameraman, sound man, director, presenter, makeup artist. Do you see where I'm coming from?
Yeah, they just took everybody. Everybody was on set as part of the show.
But it's one of the only shows I ever knew then that those behind camera became front of camera.
Yeah.
And so it didn't matter how many times they fell over, felt sick, had a headache, got scratched, fainted. It didn't matter how many times, because they've got nothing to lose. It's awful, aren't they? They don't know anything about ghosts, not really.
No.
So, I mean, a prime example is, I would say, have you ever heard of anybody shouting before they fainted? You don't.
No, it just happens.
Yeah, but on Most Haunted, it doesn't. You shout first, or scream. So the camera comes to you in time to catch you before you go down.
Got you, yeah. That's good.
And then, and what have you got to lose by saying, a ghost pushed me over, or I got scratched on the back? Because it's not their profession. It's not. It's my job. It's my profession.
Exactly.
And so in the end, I thought, no. In other words, right. So a door slams shut.
Right.
Okay. Bang! Bloody hell! Yvette screams. I'd run like hell because I'm frightened of ghosts. Right. Okay. Sometimes, you jumped off your sofa at home because that scream from Yvette and the bang of the door scared everybody to death.
Yeah.
Yeah. Great. We had a scare, but it was a scary ghost that slammed the door. Always. Because you see, all ghosts are scary. Everybody knows that, of course. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a demon or whatever it happened to be. And it was going to get us later, right? Because that's what it's all about. So it was a scary ghost. All I wanted them to do, and it wasn't my show, so why should they? But all I wanted to be able to do was to go away and see if someone's left a window open. Because it's a windy night.
Yeah.
And it's probably more likely that's why the door slammed shut.
So were you not able to do that then? Was that definitely not on camera anyway?
No, didn't happen.
Aye.
And that's what I found, because I think Joe Public would have been more, what's the word I'm looking for, receptive.
Yeah.
If we'd done a bit of investigation every now and then.
They would have appreciated that, I think.
I think
Definitely.
so.
Yeah.
Because there was very little, I have to say in the end, very little investigation done. And personally, when things, because I've just said things happened. There's no doubt some things happened, but they were never investigated as they should have. In other words, whatever we were going to do next, shouldn't have done it. We should have stopped with where something's happening.
Yeah.
And investigated. And ticked all the normal boxes first before remotely considering there's a possibility it might be paranormal.
But that wasn't the angle of the show, though, was it?
No.
It was a scare, screams, mayhem, and then obviously see you later and see you next week.
Yeah, yes, exactly. And no follow up afterwards, which there should have been. We should have either gone online or even into a studio to answer questions about what happened on that show.
Yeah.
It
We
didn't
did it.
happen.
You did it on the lives, didn't you? That you sort of had
That was
into the
good.
studio.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah, there was much more debate and discussion on the lives. Yes. Yeah. But on the show themselves, same thing. It really left you thinking, well, what was it true? Did Derek, was there a man in a green coat that had murdered his wife in 1666?
Yeah.
Did they find it? Because I used to go over, I used to research before.
Yeah.
But for me, the best research, of course, was talking to the people that are in the building, the people that work there, or the people that live there. That's the best form of research. But then afterwards, I'd go and start researching again to see if any of what happened could have been possible. But it wasn't used.
I see.
It should be. It's a shame. But I say that, but well done, guys. God, you created a monster.
They did. Yeah.
A phenomenon. And we got more viewers than The Simpsons in our heyday.
That's good.
So I can't criticise. Not really.
No.
Because it was, we won't be talking now.
Exactly. I always think you shouldn't regret things in life. If you're happy with where you are now and where you've got to, you had to go through whatever you went through before to get to this point. So you learn from it and you understand it.
Yeah. Yes. Exactly. So what I'm telling everybody, I keep saying, keep waiting for some TV company to come along. There's room for a real, much more documentary type ghost program.
Yeah.
That explains what ghosts are, the reality behind it, because there is one. Christ, there's so many accounts of things that have happened to people over the years. Over the 35 years I've been doing this, the number of people I've spoken to that have had some form of paranormal action, something's happened to them. I'm talking of thousands and thousands, and those people, they're not all nutcases.
No, just a few.
Imagination, drunk, tired, mistaken, making it. Some of them are. There's no doubt, but on the whole, what people have experienced, they can't prove it, but they believe it happened to them.
Well, yeah, you must have spoke to so many people when you're doing your walks and your tours.
Yeah.
Telling you stories.
Yeah, because I get feedback all the time.
Yeah.
That's me. I talk. Years ago, someone said to me on one of the ghost walks, the beauty of what you do, the way you do it, is that you give us the impression that you're actually out with us, not as a guide.
Yeah, you're one of them.
Yeah. Although I'm telling them ghost stories all the time, I'm talking to them at the same time as we're walking along, and at the end, and in the pub on the way round, and people just come up all the time to say, right, when I was a kid, and I get, I get so many accounts from people.
That's good though. That's
not stories anymore.
Accounts, yeah.
Yeah, and a story can be made up. An account is what you believe happened. Can't prove it, but you genuinely believe that happened to you. Big difference there.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah. So was there any issues on the set of Most Haunted over the 8 years, did you say you were on there for?
No, about 5, I think.
Oh, but there was 8 series?
Yes.
Oh, okay, yeah. So they were quite...
Yes, there were. But some of them were crammed in a little bit, if you know what
I mean.
Yeah. 2 years,
sorry.
Like that.
Yeah. So anyone you didn't see eye to eye with?
No, hang on. No. People I doubted.
Yeah.
People.
Pebbles.
Say again.
Pebbles.
Oh, pebbles. Coins. Doors. Yeah. Oh God, yeah. But you see, 2 things. Very honest. I never caught anybody faking it. I never actually saw anybody throw anything. I think I saw one guy, a sound guy. I think I saw him pick up a stone. I think, but I didn't see it throw it.
Yeah.
And honestly, in all those years, the years of doing it, never caught anybody doing that. So I can't say anybody really did, to be honest.
No.
And I was never asked to do anything.
That's good.
Would you fall over, please, at this minute, Richard? Or no, no. And I'm not saying they were. I'm not saying for 1 minute that any of them were in any way scripted to faint at that point.
No.
But I think the fact that some of the guys who, as I say, got nothing to lose at all, no credibility to lose from it,
No.
may
Yeah.
well have fallen over. Because the thing is, if you fall over screaming and shouting, fall on the floor, the camera comes to you, you get your 2 minutes of fame on the telly and a fan club. Why not?
Exactly. Yeah.
Why not? You know what I mean? Because it's an entertainment show.
Exactly.
But don't try and tell everybody that it's all real ghosts. I think that's my criticism. Don't actually make out it's a ghost. And when it is, let's try and do more about it. Let's research it more. Let's investigate it more. And that's what's missing now. And that's what we want. We want to show that you need a documentary type show that people have now, they're absolutely fascinated. Probably more than, well, I don't know, about years ago, people were not only fascinated but terrified years ago of ghosts. But there's now room to explain to people what ghosts are, the reality behind the whole thing. And that would, I think people would be fascinated. Really do.
So what do you think a ghost is?
What do I think a ghost is? Right.
Yeah, in your opinion.
Right, change the name straight away from ghost to energy.
Okay.
That's the word, energy. We are energy. The earth is nothing but energy. We are nothing but energy. There's two parts to us. There's the physical part, that's energy.
Yep.
Even when it's dead, it's still energy because it's fertilizer for daffodils. It's still doing something. But there's an inward energy called you.
Yeah.
Your mind. I've got this latest thought that the good possibility that the brain is separate to the mind, or the mind is separate to the brain. And I think the brain, obviously, we know is the hard drive, the memory source, or whatever you want to call it. But I think there's an inward mind that is separate, which is your ego, your personality, your consciousness, you. All right? And I think that there's only one of each of us on this planet or beyond in the universe. There's only one you. There might be others that look like you, but there's only one you, right? And that you, that mind, is electromagnetic. And first law of thermodynamics, you can neither create or destroy energy. You can alter its state, its appearance, but you can't destroy it. So that energy that's inside you, that electromagnetism, it has to go on in some form.
Yeah.
In an altered state, but it still goes on in some form. So really what I'm saying to people at the moment, I'm not preaching that there's life after death. All I'm saying is that there is some form of existence after material death.
Yeah.
And I don't know what it is or where we go.
Do you think we'll ever find out?
I'm working on it.
Yeah.
I don't. You see, there we get this nonsense from people. So, well, we're not supposed to find out. Who says we're not? Why aren't we?
Yeah, exactly.
Well, they're not allowed to come back. Then, well, why do some come back then? That's one of many questions. But why do some? Why do we see some ghosts and not others?
Yeah.
And for me, 40% of ghosts are an intelligence. You, your personality, everything else, that has, for some reasons, not moved on. whereas most of them should do. Some don't. Some stay behind because they like it here. Some stay behind because they're frightened to move on because of the church. Some stay behind because they don't know they're dead. Some think they've got unfinished business that they're still trying to fulfill before they move on. And that's what I think is 40% of ghosts. And intelligence, spirit and soul of a dead person, if you like. The other 60%, I am getting more and more convinced, is nothing more than a recording held in the fabric of the building. Dare I mention the word stone tape, but, that's big for me at the moment, really. And it's not a theory, because it ain't been proved, but it's not really quite a hypothesis either. I think I like to refer to it as a suggestion, the stone tape suggestion, that I think that tragic, traumatic events with energy involved can somehow be recorded in the fabric of the building and held in there in the same way as it can be held on a cassette tape.
I've got someone told me once that they knew this story where a man was driving down the road in his car, and he had a crash. Paramedics turned up, and he was dead on the roadside. They were giving him CPR. They managed to bring him back round. He went to hospital, and he was fine. A few years later, he's driving on the same road. He's driving the opposite direction, and he saw the ghost of himself.
Oh my good God!
On the road where the crash had happened previously.
I've never heard one like that. That's incredible.
And that would go along with your stone tape theory, because obviously the energy of the traumatic experience is going into the ground. Yeah,
it was worth coming on this show for that.
Thank you.
No, honestly, that. Oh, do you remember where, how, or I need to know more.
No. I think it was Adrian Perkins. I don't know if you know him. The ghost detective. He's an author. Been writing books for many years around the Northamptonshire area. I think it may have been on one of his talks. I will double check. But
will you? Because that's very interesting. Because why not? Why shouldn't he see a recording of himself? Because it's not the fact that he died. It's not his ghost. It's not his ghost. It's not his. Yeah. It's the fact that the energy that his body was actually emitting as he was dying, because as we are dying, we emit approximately 1,000 times more protons than we do during a normal living state, and that can generate up to 100 volts, which can light a 5-watt light bulb. And that's the energy that you're expelling as you're dying. That's under normal state. But under traumatic, because basically, I'm doing a bit of a talk. Every human being emits approximately 2 kilowatts of electricity in a 24-hour period. But we can harness that 2 kilowatts and more in time of crisis to keep us alive. And that's it's known as a death flash. And it's partly what can cause the recording, in the same way as pressing the on button on a cassette recorder. When you press the on button, the battery comes into play.
Yeah.
And that's the same thing. And it's known as a death flash. And that's what I think keeps the record. So in other words, it's the image, not necessarily of a dead person at all, but of someone that's in a very, very traumatic situation.
Yeah.
Or dying. You probably won't remember the story. I mean, did he? Because there I go again. Did he see himself lying on the ground, standing up? I'm sure you can't.
To be fair, I can't. It was many years ago, but I can't really remember. But I'm sure I just remember the story, and it gave me goosebumps when I heard it, because I thought, oh my God, if you could imagine, you could actually see yourself, your energy at the time of your death. That thankfully you've been brought back to life, but that's
really, really good.
That blew my mind, that did.
Yeah, it has mine, to be quite honest with you, and I'm hoping everybody else out there. But it was in Northamptonshire.
Yeah, as far as I
Yeah,
know, yeah.
yeah. Oh
Um,
well, the guys. And
the,
what's the guy's name?
Adrian Perkins,
Right.
yeah,
I'll look him
yeah,
up.
he's an author, yeah. So
That is incredible. That's it's such a good story. That account, not story.
account, yeah,
Uh,
not story.
because it's see, the most famous account, of course, is the Roman soldiers in York underneath Treasurer's
Yeah,
House. You know, about 22 Roman soldiers, all seen dressed as they were. Because you see, the question I say so often is, why aren't all ghosts stark naked? How can you see the ghost of my jumper? It's because that's
yeah,
how I was dressed when the recording was made.
yeah. When the
You
energy
see
was
what I'm saying?
transferred, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. It's a recording. It's the image of a dead person or a dying person, I suppose is the word. So that is quite something. That really is. That's made my night. That has.
Do you think that your spirit is at your own funeral?
Wow. Uh,
Do you
Good point.
reckon?
I don't. I hope so.
It would be, I suppose, well, not a nice occasion, but maybe to see your last movements on Earth in your physical
Wow.
form, I suppose.
I've never thought of that one either. Never thought of that. So that's very interesting.
I'm on a
Uh,
roll.
when you see again, we are when do you leave? You know what I mean? I mean, people say that they see, they see sort of sometimes a mist or an image or something coming out of the body. Nurses talk about that sort of thing.
Mm.
They open a window still when someone dies in hospital. To let I don't know why they need to do that, because they can just go through the wall, can't they?
Well,
But
yeah,
uh,
yeah,
apparently they always open a window to let the spirit out. Um, but yeah, why shouldn't we be? But yeah, let's say, how long afterwards is it? And mediums will tell you, I'm sure. Some might, some not. But yeah, will we linger for a few days, or do we wait till we've been laid to rest?
yeah. Could be that.
Yeah,
Yeah. Does it matter if you're
interesting.
religious?
That's the whole point.
Yeah,
Yeah. If you're religious, you believe it.
yeah,
Because again, some ghosts stay behind, as I just said to you earlier, because they like it. They like the house so much um, that they actually don't move on. And when the new occupant comes in, everything's all right until they start doing some work in the house, like demolishing a wall or stripping the
yeah,
wallpaper off the bed. And they actually start getting a bit ratty because they, what are you doing? My house, it is.
yeah,
Even though and so yeah, it's so much more. There's so much more to this than most ghost programs look into, and I can understand that
yeah.
because it's all down to keeping the viewers, isn't it?
Mm.
Which is what it's all about.
I've
I
got
don't know.
question for you. Yeah.
Yeah.
So when I had Kieran on the show last year,
Oh yes, yes.
he told me a story that one sunny day you and him went down to Borley Rectory or the
Correct.
church, and you knocked on somebody's door where the house was, where the rectory was originally.
Yeah.
And you had a chat with a lady in there. He said that she was expecting you both.
Well, I'm not sure about that bit,
Oh,
but definitely we knocked on this door. There's a guy called George that came out, and we ended up. He took us in. Let's just have a look around, because obviously, allegedly, big allegedly, Borley Rectory was the most haunted house in Britain.
yeah.
And the Nun's Walk, which is what the nun walked along on the 27th of July or whatever it was, is in his garden, in his bungalow's garden. And we went out there and we actually hired his bungalow. George, he went away for the weekend with
Okay.
his family, and we hired it and did a paranormal investigation in there.
Wow.
All we saw was a badger, a live one.
Weren't even dead.
Not even a dead one. That's as good as it got. But what an experience that was.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So yes, true.
Oh wow.
I don't know about the lady. I don't remember that bit. But
Oh,
you
maybe
know,
that's my recollection. Maybe
you
is
never
wrong.
know. But definitely, we went knocked on the door, oh well, no, I tell you what. Yeah, it nearly because basically straight away, she opened the door and she said, "Oh, Richard Felix, you're off Most Haunted." And I said, "Yeah, well, so is he, you know." And that was it. And she said, "You know," I said, "We're blah blah blah. We're here. We're talking about doing a program about Harry Price and Borley, and I just thought we'd come and knock on your door." And she said, "Come in." It was
Wow.
great. That was quite something. And I've been back since as well.
Oh, have
With
you?
a group of Americans on a bus tour I did for Americans. And again, George let us go in and take the Americans down to the Nuns Walk, you know, which is, I mean, it's very famous.
Yeah,
I don't
yeah,
know how true it is, but that's another story. I think Harry Price was a bit of another one.
yeah. He
Another one.
exaggerated a bit.
I
Yeah,
think so. Pretty sure of that. But he was the
yeah.
first, wasn't he?
He was. Yeah, yeah. He started it all.
Yeah. Well, he did. Well, actually, no. Before him, Dr. Samuel Johnson,
Oh, yes, yes, yes.
paranormal investigator. Now then,
Yeah.
how about that? Yeah.
We're going way back.
We're going back to the 1780s.
Yeah, that's a bit far.
No, earlier. No, 1740s, I think, something like that. Wow. But you see, they were fascinating, but they had more fear, I think, then.
Yes, that's what they were controlled by, wasn't it, back in the old days?
Well, that's the whole point. Yeah, you see, my big
Yeah,
take on it, on my big argument is the fact that Christianity, or should I say religion, has created a lot of ghosts that daren't move on. Because, you know, if the old lady can stay behind because she liked that cottage, I'm sure someone can stay behind because they're terrified of burning in hell.
yeah,
And it's caused ghosts that have stayed behind because they're terrified of divine retribution, hellfire, and damnation. And I'm afraid the teachings of most churches, not just Christianity, they're all there to control and create fear.
mm.
But God-fearing person, why? Yeah, it's caused ghosts. I'm a big believer in that. You know, a whole paragraph of my book called "Ghosts and the Church."
Well, one of these.
Yeah, yay. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
the left. It's what is it? What is a ghost?
What is
Yeah,
a ghost?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. You have a whole paragraph, a whole chapter on that, which is yeah. One day, I'm hoping to be able to sit and do an interview with a church person, a vicar or someone that's, because there's not many left now, but I'd
No.
love to have a discussion about what their thoughts on the whole thing, because it's created an awful lot of fear, death, torture, pain, anguish, and it's happening now. Just because I believe my Santa Claus wears a red coat, and you believe yours has got a green one.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
True, isn't it?
Causes division. Yeah.
It causes division and death and dear,
Destruction. Yeah.
all over the news every day. You know, it's all down to same old thing. My God's better than your God.
Yeah.
My imaginary God's better than your imaginary God.
Yeah.
I'm quite. One day somebody will get me for this. Tell you.
Nah, you're fine. So if we can go back to Most Haunted, were you there at the famous Pendle Hill Live?
God, yeah.
Yeah.
Was I?
That
But
was
I
like iconic
that was-
TV that night.
It was. There's no getting away from it. I described it as on a battlefield.
Yeah.
People dropping down dead.
So what was it like to be involved in that in the middle of that?
It was fabulous. It was. I think it was the best show that ever happened. I think, but I was because I was actually, I don't know where I was, but I was actually sat. It was live, wasn't it? I was in the studio.
Oh, okay, yeah.
That was my problem. I wasn't actually out there with them.
Ah, right, yeah.
I was watching it all happening and commentating, talking about it, and it was,
Yeah.
it was a very exciting few moments. That was
I
yeah.
remember watching it on TV, thinking, "Oh my God, look at that! Another
It
one's
was
gone
so good.
down.
It
They're
was
taking
so
them
good.
out." Yeah.
They're dropping like flies. Yeah.
Did you speak to the guys when they come back after
Oh yeah. Oh, they
Yeah?
were all sort of battered and shocked. And, oh come on! No, it was pretty damn good. That was, yeah, one of the best I think that we ever did.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what's interesting. I don't understand why, but because obviously Most Haunted's still on all the time on TV, repeats
Yeah.
all the time. Don't understand why they don't put the lives on and serialize them.
Yeah, the lives for me were really. I used to love them.
Yeah, they
3-4
were fabulous.
hours.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then they got a bit silly, you see, and they ended up doing a 7-day one.
Yeah.
Which again is over the top, isn't it? There was no need for that. But
Yeah,
they were good. They were very excited.
You went all over Europe, didn't you? To Rome and Holland and.
Yes, we did. Yeah. No, it was quite something, I tell you. But they should use them. I don't know why they don't. They've got all that footage, and I know obviously it was a 3-day live. They can't put it on one night, but why not serialize it like they did when it was on? Because they're missing out. Because people would love to watch them again.
I'd like to see them again, to be fair.
Yeah, I would. Yeah, it was good. I know they did them on DVDs, but you can forget that now because people haven't got DVD players anymore.
No.
Very surprised they've not done that. They're missing out. Yeah,
they are.
On a money stream.
So what was the reason you actually decided to leave Most Haunted in the end?
Right. The reason was, to be honest with you, that they wouldn't give me my head. They wouldn't let me do what I think I'm good at. But I've just said already, haven't I? It wasn't my show.
No, it wasn't.
So why should they? But I knew it was going to go down because of the antics of what was going on. And I knew that actually most of them didn't have anything to lose at all. And so I decided I needed to go before the ship went down. And that was why. That was the reason. Should I have done it? I could have stayed on for a long time.
Yeah.
And been paid a lot more money. But I think I've still got my credibility.
Yeah, I was going to say, you left with your credibility
yes.
intact, I think.
That's the whole point. There's no doubt. Did it do me any good? I don't know. Depends what comes yet. Depends if I can get. Yeah, I mean, you see, I'm working at the moment on a series which will probably be YouTube because more people watch YouTube than anything else, don't they?
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. And I'm going to call it the Felix Files.
Nice.
And it's going to deal with all the different aspects of the paranormal. So there'll be a program on ghosts in the church, program on poltergeists, a program on the stone tape business, the stone tape suggestion, breathing skulls, spontaneous human combustion. Keep going, Richard. There's about 10 or 12 different crossroad ghosts. All that's what I mean. Stuff like that. But going into the deep, into the reality, what it's all about. What is a poltergeist? Is it this scary demonic thing that come off it? No, it isn't. Where is it? And I think people would appreciate it because it could be quite, it won't be scary. Well, it might be. Depends where I go, doesn't it? And what happens. Again, I mean, prime example about 10 years ago. I did a pilot for a guy, can't remember his name, and it was a terrace house in one of these garden cities. I can't remember. It wasn't Wellingham. I can't remember where it was. Anyway, near Northamptonshire somewhere, funnily enough. A terrace house. And the family that were there were terrified of whatever was upstairs in one of the bedrooms, to such an extent that they actually slept downstairs.
Oh.
And they genuinely did. All the stuff was there downstairs. They did not sleep upstairs at all because of this man that used to wander around upstairs. And one particular bedroom, other things like that. And they'd got some silly woman, medium. I won't mention any names. I won't mention her name, but I thought, I'm afraid I always remember on some program that she was on. I remember she had spirits coming inside her, and I'm thinking, yes, love. Yeah, I couldn't believe it. And anyway, she was there, and I'm thinking, oh God, is this going to be another Mosh Haunted, guys? So I said to him, look, you need to do something a bit different. So. And this was very foolish of me to do it. I said, so, right, why don't I, because I'm frightened of ghosts, I'm actually quite frightened of this house. If what they say is true and there is something up there, bloody hell, So why don't we do this? Why don't we all come out of the place, you give me the key, and we wait till early hours of the morning, and I'll go back on my own in the house. And I'm thinking, what have you said this for? We'll be in the kitchen. I said, no, you can't do that.
No.
The house has to be empty. I have to be alone. Because this is real. This is my fear of trying. So they went down the road, literally, gave me the key, and it was a couple of hours later. And I'm thinking, bloody hell, what am I doing? And I got a camera with me. And that was it, and a walkie-talkie. And I go in and I stand up, because it's all in darkness, of course. It's got to be dark, in complete pitch black. Yeah. And I'm thinking, right, and I look up the stairs and I think, oh God, dear. Because again, I tell you what, it's a bit like supposing you go out for the night somewhere, and people say, right, when you go back to your car in the car park, do be careful, because a black panther has been seen twice in the car park of this. What? Now, do you believe them or don't you? I don't know. That's what they'd said. So you'd be a little wary, wouldn't you, walking back to the car? You'd probably make sure that you got your umbrella or stick. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, just in case.
It's been planted in your mind, hasn't it?
Yeah.
And so the same thing applies with this family that are bloody terrified of this, whatever it is, upstairs. And so here's me going in, So I start quite gently going up the stairs, and the bloody walkie-talkie goes off. Well, I nearly shit myself. I kid you not.
I can imagine.
The expletives that came out of my mouth. It absolutely. Well, for fuck's sake, why on earth did they do that at that point? But that was it. Nothing else happened. But it made the show. You see where I'm coming from? Yeah. And that was real. That was real. It was none of the sort of screaming because of, there's a ghost. It made me jump, basically.
Real reaction, yeah. Your fear was real at the time.
Real reaction, yeah. And so that could happen. It can still happen. And that's what people love. That's the trouble. That's what people like. That's why I'm talking about it now. That was the only thing that happened all night.
Yeah.
But that was quite something.
You won't forget that in a hurry.
No, I never will. No, I talk about it. It was the show didn't go. Nothing happened. It wasn't commissioned. But that was a good bit. That was quite a good bit. But, yeah. And again, funnily enough, on Mosh Haunted, some of the most memorable bits, nothing to do with ghosts at all.
Yeah.
Things like
Mary loves Dick.
Mary loves Dick. Yvette getting stuck in the mud and them having to grab hold of her and pull her out of her Wellington boots.
Oh,
Somewhere,
wow.
I can't remember where that was. And when we were in Epping Forest, and she mistakenly called it Effing Forest. And, those things. And when we did a York live from the racecourse, and 12 o'clock on New Year's Eve it was, and someone suggested that Matthew goes out on his own in the snow, because it was snowing heavily, onto the racecourse where because the executions took place, the hangings took place where the racecourse is now.
Yeah.
And he went out there, and he was confronted by an elderly couple with a hurricane lamp walking across the racecourse. Nothing scary.
No.
But it made the show.
Yeah. So I bet he was scared.
Yeah, well, exactly.
Is that real?
Coming towards, and it wasn't like a torchlight. You see, it was a hurricane lamp, paraffin.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
A little scary as it came towards him. But there's the stuff sometimes that makes it. And yes, it's entertainment, and you've got to entertain, otherwise they will switch off.
Exactly. Yeah.
No doubt about that.
Yeah.
Good stuff. So, it really is.
So I've got a couple more questions before you need to leave, Richard, if that's all right.
So
obviously Halloween's coming up. What does Halloween look like in your house?
In my house, nothing, because I'm not here.
Oh, okay. That's next question.
It's a bit like asking Santa Claus if he's free on Christmas Eve.
Yeah, I suppose.
I'm out doing. I mean, I start on the 22nd with events and stuff, and I don't think I'm back in until the 3rd of November with different things I'm doing, events, and I do talks in pubs. I do ghost stories for Halloween. I do ghost stories for Christmas around the fire in a pub. Nice. I do a thing called Dining with the Dead, which is a dinner with 3 or 4 course meal, and I do ghost stories in between courses, and then I do a talk and a bit of demonstration of some of the powers of the mind and the energies, with dowsing rods and crystals and bits and bobs like that.
You did that Oundle, haven't you? Is it Talbot Hotel? You used to do that?
God, yes.
Dining with the Dead?
I did indeed. That was massive.
Yeah.
Yeah. Huge, long time. Yeah, that's going back a year or two now.
I remember that.
Yeah, I do it all over the place. I'm just hopefully, funnily enough, as you mentioned earlier, planning, hopefully, of going back to the Golden Fleece and doing a Dining with the Dead in the, upstairs. In the room
that's awesome place.
It is awesome. It really is quite something special, that place is. Yeah.
Yeah, going back to that, which I mentioned obviously at the beginning, we were doing, because it's the first time I'd ever done anything ghost related. It was like proper ghost virgin that night for me. And I was doing table tipping with a small table that you said you brought from Derby Jail.
Yes.
And it actually walked out of the room, and I was on there with my wife at the time, so I did trust her. There was no one else messing about. And it walked out the room, down the corridor, and onto the first step. And from that moment on, I'm like, wow,
So right. Yes, that's absolutely. It does it now. It still does it. That table belonged to my resident mediums, 2 of them, Chris and Eleanor Thompson. They used to make their own equipment as well. They were incredible guys. Eleanor, she's dead, poor girl, but basically she always used to say to me, she was never sure whether she was psychic or psychotic. But they were good. They were really good. And they bought that table years ago from an antique shop. And there's just something strange about it. I kid you not. And you saw it. It goes up the stairs.
Yeah.
Or down the stairs.
Downstairs. It was.
On one occasion at the Golden Fleece, it walked me and others, out of the Golden Fleece and down pavement at about 1:30 in the morning with a police car parked there watching us go by.
You couldn't make that up.
No, and they didn't do anything. It's just completely gobsmacked. They were. Yeah, that table. Wow. It's got a name. We call it Table. Yeah, it's incredible. Yeah, it's quite something, that. Yeah, it's walked me out of Jamaica Inn to the stocks on the car park.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
And it walks me out of Derby Jail. Wants to get me out of Derby Jail because we have a resident jailer there that doesn't like, because I made a comment to him a few years ago. Mr. Simpson, he was jailer for 37 years. I mean, most people weren't alive for 37 years in those days.
No.
Never mind holding down the same job. And I said one day, made a comment we were doing this table, and he came through, and I said, "Oh, Mr. Simpson, I command here now, not you." And it's upset things.
I can imagine.
It keeps happening. It keeps doing things when I'm on it. It's quite something different, something quite good, you know.
Yeah.
No, good stuff, mate. Good stuff.
Oh, well, one question left for you, Richard. If you could investigate anywhere in the world, bucket list location, where would you want to go to?
Tower of London.
Nice.
Please.
Yeah.
Wouldn't I? Wouldn't I just? I don't think that'll ever happen.
Henry VIII. Yeah.
All of it. Anne Boleyn, Walter Raleigh's ghost, a ghost of a bear. Oh God! I mean, it really is. You know, that's the place. Can you imagine doing a program, Ghosts of the Tower of London?
Yeah.
Wow.
You think one day they might actually do that, but there's
never
probably
know.
too many secrets there, I suppose.
That's true. I mean, there's lots of books on Ghosts of the Tower of London. It's not the same.
No.
An actual program there and a ghost. Wow. One day, you never know.
Yeah. You'll be top of the list.
Yeah.
So, Richard, thank you so much for joining me this evening. It's been such an honour. Is there anywhere that people can contact you on social media?
Yeah. Well, my website's richardfelix.co.uk.
Okay.
richardfelix.co.uk. All my events, where I am, what I'm doing, on richardfelix.co.uk. Anybody got any accounts, storage? Email is richardfelix@gmx.com. richardfelix@gmx.com. I've got a YouTube channel. That's at Richard Felix channel. And I've been a bit lax recently, not done a lot, but I've got a lot of stuff planned in the very near future, including creating this program called the Felix Files. So, and I'm on TikTok as well, God help me.
Hey! I'll have to go check you out on there, Richard. Doing any dances? Awesome. Yes, thank you so much, Richard, for joining me this evening.
It's been a pleasure.
It's been an honour. Thank you so much.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you, Richard. Wow, guys, what a guest. Awesome man, Richard Felix, the famous gentleman. He's so nice in person as well. Go check out his website. You know, go see what he's doing on YouTube. Go follow him. Go tell him a story. I'm sure he'd appreciate it. He's always there to learn. He wants to hear your side of your accounts, not stories, accounts. So yes, guys, thank you so much for watching. It's been a pleasure. Thank you so much. Sorry it's a bit early, but it is what it is. And yeah, what a guest, Richard Felix, telling us the stories about Mosh Haunted. Awesome. But yes, guys, next week it's just going to be me, no guest. We're going to have a chat about the current situations that are happening within the paranormal field, and then the following Tuesday, I believe, 28th, I have a panel on. We have Carl Hutchinson, who's been on Ghost Adventures. We've got Russ Bevan, we've got Ryan Griffiths, and we've got Mark Williams on the show, all discussing Halloween, what Halloween is like in different countries, how the world sees it, any plans, special things that have happened over the years at events, etc. So, yes, hopefully you guys will join me. You guys are awesome. Thank you so much for the comments, the likes, the subscribers. It's awesome. I've also got a new cemetery channel, Cemetery Walks with Mickey. Go, please subscribe. It's just started. One video on there. If you like cemetery walks, coffee in the hand, chilled out, nice and peaceful, then yeah, go and follow it, please. Yeah, Richard Felix is also on Justin's channel next Monday, 8 p.m. There you go, Justin. Nice plug for you there. Where was Justin tonight? He's not on my channel, is he? No, where is he? Cheeky boy. He's playing with his monkey. Anyway, guys. Oh, fucking hell. Right, I'll see you next week. Oh, wait there. Episode tomorrow. The first of my Halloween trio. Hawkins Cemetery. 8 p.m. tomorrow night on this channel. Mickey York Ghost Hunter. Good. Yeah, so I'll see you there. See you in the premiere. See you tomorrow. See you later, people. Bye bye.